I'm going live today for the short little mini webinar to talk about some of the pathophysiology or disease, medical complications of pregnancy, and some of the complementary therapies that can assist with that. Now, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into this topic as part of my Inner Circle MotherWise MasterClasses. And that's where people have chosen to subscribe to one of my Essential Basics programs, and that's when you get all of my full-length webinars, plus we get a weekly weekly chat together, and also access to my 24/7 access to my huge online Q&A library, which is massive. You just go in there and type a word in, and up comes loads of questions and loads of answers. So really useful at 3 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, so let's just do a little bit of a mini webinar, as I say today. I will include a link at the with this post with regards to how to get access to my full-length webinars. So just picking out some of the more common complications of pregnancy. So firstly, gestational diabetes mellitus. So with a GDM mum, we call them, there's three kinds of diabetes. There's type 1 and type 2, one you're born with, one you get sort of through lifestyle, tend to be later in life. But there is actually a third, and that is pregnancy diabetes, which is a temporary form of diabetes. And so with a GDM mum, if she's maintaining her blood sugar levels within the normal range, just from altering her diet alone, then fundamentally her fetus is unaffected. Where it becomes complicated for the fetus is when the mother is constantly hyperglycemic or has got very high blood sugar levels, so that does have an impact on the fetus, which is another whole conversation. So it's a good idea to have a diet consult with a nutritionist, obviously, and you'll be under obstetric extra management of care with that as well. But certainly nil calorie non-synthetic foods are particularly helpful. Probably a couple of really good ones are stevia being used as your sweetener, and shirataki noodles as a fake carb, basically. So both stevia as a sweetener and shirataki noodles, it's shirataki, they don't affect your glycemic index, so you can eat those till the cows come home if you want. It would be a very good idea to have a pregnancy wellness consultation with a medical herbalist and sort of really look at your supplement regime there, and also with an acupuncturist. They can have some really good results to assist with gestational diabetes. Okay, there's also a very good idea, I think, to see a classical homeopath to have a constitutional assessment done there, and so that they can give you a customized tincture regime. But in general terms, if it's GDM accompanied with a bit of sort of grief in general, then Ignatia is the homeopathy remedy there. And if it's GDM with a history of overindulgence, like you just know you really like your food, then Nux vomica is your traditional remedy there. All right. I will also talk about let's have a look else what we'll go through today. Pre-Eclampsic Toxemia. So now that tends to start as pregnancy-induced hypertension and can become Pre-Eclampsic Toxemia, or sometimes it just goes straight to Pre-Eclampsic Toxemia, which is basically when you've got high blood pressure accompanied by other organ issues. So accompanied by some abnormal bloods, basically. It's hypertension with dysfunction. So it could be proteinuria, that's protein in your urine. So that's renal dysfunction, or it could be low platelets, it could be abnormal liver function, etc. So definitely a multidiscipline approach is absolutely, I think, strongly recommended. So yes, you'll be seeing your obstetrician, and your midwife hopefully is involved, depending on where you are in the world. But really worth also seeing a medical herbalist, an acupuncturist, and a classical homeopath as well, and along with dietary advice, some meditation and some gentle yoga would be really good as well. So from the naturopathy point of view, with herbalism, a consultation with a qualified medical herbalist can potentially have a significant benefit. That could be traditional Chinese medicine, it could be Indian Ayurvedic medicine, it could be a European medical herbalist, doesn't really matter. They've all got remedies that can assist with this, and definitely, you know, altering the lifestyle with dietary advice, meditation, yoga, acupuncture, all really greatly assisted. I did hear some research recently that basically from the moment that a woman is diagnosed with having pre-eclampsic toxemia until the date that that baby needs to get born, or is born, because it's needing to get born, because of her pathology affecting the baby, generally speaking, it's around about 12 to 13 days. So you've got a really, really short time to do what you can to put the brakes on that pre-eclampsic toxemia without you needing to then be induced. So homeopathy with that, with blood pressure, if the blood pressure, you know, is a little bit caused by what we call white coat syndrome, so as soon as, you know, somebody puts a cuff on you, you know your blood pressure goes up. Nat Mur can assist with that. If you know that you have a bit of a naturally impatient personality, then Nux vomica and sepia can help. If you have proteinuria or protein in your urine without the high blood pressure, then what I'd say is to increase the diet, the protein in your diet, and also combine that with the homeopathic tincture sulfur. And yeah, do a real good consultation with a classical homeopath so they can check your homeostatic equilibrium, really. And then, but the main thing, probably more than anything else, is lifestyle, and that is doing as little stress-related activities as possible. So we're talking mental, physical, emotional, including housework and including going to work. Just, it's time to simply make a dent on the couch. Yep. You know, the old days of saying that you are on compulsory bed rest have sort of gone out the window, because we know that compulsory bed rest can be associated with deep vein thrombosis and DVTs and all these other sort of things. So we don't recommend that anymore. But you actually want to be just really, really taking it easy. If your blood pressure is going up and you're still going to work, wrong. Okay, this is yeah, no. I can't emphasize it enough, and I've had that conversation with so many women over the years. Oh, I feel fine. You might feel fine, but you're feeling fine because your body is still compensating for the fact that it's not coping. But there's going to be a moment soon where you start to not feel fine, and by that time you've got things really seriously. So if your body is showing medically symptoms of high blood pressure or abnormal results in bloods from dysfunction of renal function or liver function, the reason that you're not feeling bad is because your body is being very clever at it, trying to counteract that at the moment, but it's not coping. So you need to really leave work. Anyway, that's my little rant and rave for the day. So we've got lots of other things that we'll be going through in the deep dive, and lots of other topics of pathology, but those two were particularly important for talking to you guys about today. So we have gone rather over time, but that's all good. Okay, I love you and leave you. Have a great week, everybody. Bye. See you.